India's defense story is changing from self-reliance to global strength. With record defense production, rising exports and cutting-edge indigenous technologies, India is building a stronger military and a more resilient defense ecosystem. The message is clear: Atmanirbhar Bharat, or self-reliant India, is powering the country's rise as a global defense force. More in this report.
India's defense sector has undergone a major transformation over the past decade, driven by higher investment, indigenous production, and technological innovation. From advanced naval platforms to missiles and air defense systems, the focus is firmly on building a stronger and more self-reliant defense ecosystem. A recent example is Mangrol, the third anti-submarine warfare shallow water craft built by Cochin Shipyard Limited. Delivered to the Indian Navy on 21st August, the vessel has over 80% indigenous content and is equipped for underwater surveillance, anti-submarine warfare, mine warfare, and low-intensity maritime operations. Powered by water jets, Mangrol carries advanced torpedoes, anti-submarine rockets, radars, and sonars. The recent transformation in India's defense sector is backed by sustained investment under the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. The defense budget rose from 2.53 lakh crore rupees in 2013-14 to 7.85 lakh crore rupees in 2026-27. Capital expenditure has increased from 94,587.95 crore rupees in 2014-15 to 2.19 lakh crore rupees in 2026-27. Defense production reached a record 1.78 lakh crore rupees in 2025-26. 76% production from public sector entities and 24% from the private sector. Exports rose from 686 crore rupees in FY 2013-14 to 38,424 crore rupees in FY 2025-26. Exports are reaching 80 plus countries and increased over 5,500% in 12 years. Private sector contributed 17,353 crore rupees, or 45.16% of defense exports in FY 2025-26. Defense public sector undertakings contributed 21,071 crore rupees, or 54.84%. At the heart of this transformation is a growing domestic industrial base, backed by stronger private sector participation and indigenous innovation. Defense acquisition reforms. The Defense Acquisition Council, India's apex defense procurement body, is driving Atmanirbhar Bharat through indigenous acquisitions. It has accorded acceptance of necessity for over 6 lakh crore rupees of DRDO designed Indian industry manufactured systems. Major indigenous acquisitions are strengthening combat capabilities. Approvals include 97 Tejas Mk-1A fighter jets worth 62,000 crore rupees and 156 LCH Prachand helicopters worth 62,700 crore rupees. Defense Acquisition Procedure DAP 2020 strengthened indigenous procurement and domestic manufacturing. Defense Procurement Procedure DPP 2016 streamlined defense acquisitions while advancing Make in India. Defense Procurement Manual 2025 streamlined nearly 1 lakh crore rupees in revenue procurement. Indigenization is also expanding across ammunition, missiles, air defense, propulsion, and naval systems. The Indian Army achieved roughly 91% self-sufficiency by indigenizing 159 out of 175 ammunition variants in its inventory. India has successfully tested the Agni 4 intermediate range ballistic missile and Agni 5 long range surface to surface ballistic missile, validating their operational and technical parameters. The Tara glide weapon and Rudra M2 air-to-surface missile have also demonstrated indigenous precision strike capabilities against ground targets. The DRDO has advanced multiple indigenous systems, including the Kusha long-range air defense missile and very short-range air defense system. DRDO successfully conducted a 12-minute ground test of an actively cooled scramjet combustor supporting hypersonic missile development. India's maritime strength is growing in parallel. The Indian Navy commissioned 12 warships and submarines, including INS Surat, INS Nilgiri, and INS Vagshir. INS Mahendragiri stealth frigate also entered service with over 75% indigenous content. Sachi, the first of 11 next-generation offshore patrol vessels launched. INS Dunagiri, INS Sanshodak, INS Agre, also commissioned, completing the indigenous Sandayak class survey fleet, expanding maritime surveillance and survey capabilities. DRDO successfully tested the naval anti-ship missile medium range and demonstrated multi-layer ballistic missile defense capability. Together, these developments reflect a clear shift from dependence on imports towards greater domestic capability, advanced technology, and operational resilience. The objective is clear: a technologically advanced, self-reliant, and globally credible defense power, ready to meet future security challenges and strengthen its position by 2047. Bureau Report, DD India.